Hi guys, welcome to another audio video, and I'll be reading Judges 1 of the King James Version Bible. And it reads, Now after the death of Joshua, it came to pass that the children of Israel asked the Lord, saying, Who shall go up for us against the Canaanites first, to fight against them? And the Lord said, Judah shall go up. Behold, I have delivered the land into his hand. And Judah said unto Simeon his brother, Come up with me into my lot, that we may fight against the Canaanites, and I likewise will go with thee into thy lot. So Simeon went with him. And Judah went up, and the Lord delivered the Canaanites and the Perizzites into their hand, and they slew of them in Bezek 10,000 men. And they found Adoni-Bezek in Bezek, and they fought against him, and they slew the Canaanites and the Perizzites. But Adoni-Bezek fled, and they pursued after him, and caught him, and cut off his thumbs and his great toes. And Adoni-Bezek said, 70 kings, having their thumbs and their great toes cut off, gathered their meat under my table, as I have done, so God hath requited me. And they brought him to Jerusalem, and there he died. Now the children of Judah had fought against Jerusalem, and had taken it, and smitten it with the edge of the sword, and set the city on fire. And afterward the children of Judah went down to fight against the Canaanites that dwelt in the mountain, and in the south, and in the valley. And Judah went against the Canaanites, and dwelt in Hebron. Now the name of Hebron before was Kirjatharba. And they slew Sheshai, and Ahiman, and Talmai. And from thence he went against the inhabitants of Debir, and the name of Debir before was Kirjath-sepher. And Caleb said, He that smiteth Kirjath-sepher, and taketh it, to him will I give Achsah my daughter to wife. And Othniel the son of Kenaz, Caleb's younger brother, took it, and he gave it Achsah his daughter to wife. Achsah his daughter to wife. And it came to pass, when she came to him, that she moved him to ask of her father a field, and she lighted from off her ass. And Caleb said unto her, What wilt thou? And she said unto him, Give me a blessing, for thou hast given me a south land. Give me also springs of water. And Caleb gave her the upper springs and the nether springs. And the children of the Kenite, Moses' father-in-law, went up out of the city of palm trees with the children of Judah into the wilderness of Judah, which lieth in the south of Arad. And they went and dwelt among the people. And Judah went with Simeon his brother, and they slew the Canaanites that inhabited Zephath, and utterly destroyed it. And the name of the city was called Hormah. Also Judah took Gaza with the coast thereof, and Askelon with the coast thereof, and Ekron with the coast thereof. And the Lord was with Judah, and he drave out the inhabitants of the mountain, but could not drive out the inhabitants of the valley, because they had chariots of iron. And they gave Hebron unto Caleb, as Moses said, and he expelled thence the 3 sons of Anak. And the children of Benjamin did not drive out the Jebusites that inhabited Jerusalem, but the Jebusites dwell with the children of Benjamin in Jerusalem unto this day. And the house of Joseph, they also went up against Bethel, and the Lord was with them. And the house of Joseph sent to descry Bethel. Now the name of the city before was Luz. And the spies saw a man come forth out of the city, and they said unto him, Shew us, we pray thee, the entrance into the city, and we will shew thee mercy. And when he shewed them the entrance into the city, they smote the city with the edge of the sword, and they let go the man and all his family. And the man went into the land of the Hittites and built a city, and called the name thereof Luz, which is the name thereof unto this day. Neither did Manasseh drive out the inhabitants of Beth Shean and their towns, nor Taanach and their towns, nor the inhabitants of Dor and their towns, nor the inhabitants of Hilblaim and her towns, nor the inhabitants of Megiddo and her towns, but the Canaanites who dwelt in that land. And it came to pass, when Israel was strong, that they put the Canaanites to tribute, and did not utterly drive them out. Neither did Ephraim drive out the Canaanites that dwelt in Gezer, but the Canaanites dwelt in Gezer among them. Neither did Zebulun drive out the inhabitants of Kidron, nor the inhabitants of Nahalol, but the Canaanites dwelt among them and became tributaries. Neither did Asher drive out the inhabitants of Akko, nor the inhabitants of Zidon, nor the Halab, nor the Hakshib, nor of Helba, nor of Aphik, nor of Rehob. But the Hasherites dwelt among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land, for they did not drive them out. Neither did Naphtali drive out the inhabitants of Beth Shemesh, nor the inhabitants of Bethanath, but he dwelt among the Canaanites, the inhabitants of the land. Nevertheless, the inhabitants of Beth Shemesh and of Bethanath became tributaries unto them. And the Amorites forced the children of Dan into the mountain, for they would not suffer them to come down to the valley. But the Amorites would dwell in Mount Eres, in Haijalon, and in Shaalbim. Yet the hand of the house of Joseph prevailed, so that they became tributaries, and the coast of the Amorites was from the going up of Akrabim, from the rock and upward. Alright guys. Okay guys, so in this chapter we see a lot of things happening, and we see that they actually want to claim, the children of Israel after the passing of Joshua wanted to claim other lands also. But I recall where Caleb had offered his daughter Aksha for a reward, and based on what I've seen throughout the Bible, normally daughters are given up as rewards when they are extremely lovely and pleasing to the eye, which is what people still do practice that in today's world. Yeah, so I recall that. So it's not the first time this was mentioned, and she actually, when they asked her what exactly she wanted as her, basically like her gift, her bridal gift, then she says that she wants water, springs and waters. And so she was given springs and waters from the mountainous regions of Kirjath Sepher. Forgive me if I don't pronounce it right. I'm sorry. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying, okay? Okay? I'm not perfect. I'm trying. And I guess it's not that important because the Lord does not tell me, oh, this is where you're supposed to pronounce it or anything. So I guess it's not really that significant. The significance is that you get what I'm saying, okay? And we see where they're trying to gain land here. And if you note, the Lord had initially said that he wants them to utterly destroy all the Canaanites. But here we see that among most of the tribes, Canaanites still reside among them. And yes, They're there as tributary, meaning they're there and they surrender themselves to them. But that's not what God had initially intended. If you recall, God gave them the land and God told them that they should ensure that they remove everything of the Canaanites, all their foreign gods, and utterly destroy them and drive them out of the land. But they did not do that. They decided they wanted to do their own thing. And I mean, even though they are respective of God, and I mean, they have been doing what God had told them to do thus far, we remember where it says in the Bible that God will not always strive with men. The Spirit of God will not always strive with men. And people take that a lot of ways. I'm sorry, because it does apply in a lot of situations. And it does come across into different interpretations. And in, like I said, everything is for a different season, a different circumstance, a different situation. So nothing is written in stone. And what the Lord does is that He'll use one verse to speak to a crowd of 1,000,000 people, and that 1,000,000 people will all get one different story, one different meaning, one different message from that one scriptural verse. And that's just how God is. That's how awesome God is. Because listen to me, He does not, He knows us. He knows everything about us. He knows us from before we were born. He knows us before even our mothers were born. He knew what plan He had for us, what was going to happen. And so He knows everything. He knows what message He needs to get to you. And He's so perfect that He writes His script. He inspires His prophets to write the scriptures. And He Himself, through the Holy Spirit, gives you whatever message you need to get, whatever message you need to receive within your season, so that even if it's in a crowd of 1,000,000, you'll still get your message. Each individual will get their individual message from that very same verse. And if that does not show just how awesome God is, I don't know what does. But let me revert back to what I was saying, because I get really carried off track at times. I'm sorry. I get excited and all over the place. So sometimes you hear me here and I'm fumbling for words. It's not fumbling for words. I'm just, too many thoughts are coming at once. So it's hard for me to kind of just put them into perspective. And, because it's live, I don't do anything. Everything that I do is basically live. I don't go and edit anymore and all those stuff. I mean, sometimes I ramble on too much and I will need to cut out all of that rambling. Okay, but I don't try to say, okay, I'm gonna redo this or redo that or whatever. That's not it. I want it to be totally aspired by God. And so I try to take myself out of it as much as I can. Sometimes I will get interjected into that, but I try not to as best as I can. Alright, but it does happen at times. And so sometimes I need to go and edit and remove all the chatter. Just letting you guys know, so that you guys know that if you hear something and it's like it was here at a point and then it's there at another point, it's not because I went and I redid it or anything like that, or re-record. It's just because I was doing a whole lot of chatter, because I'm that passionate. Okay, so anybody that knows me and actually conversates with me on a certain level knows that that's how I am. I will talk about God to you like all day if I have to. Okay, if I think it's gonna give you a better understanding and give you a better appreciation of Him. And so I need to cut out stuff. Okay, so yeah, but yeah. So we see that they did not do exactly as God has intended for them to do. You wonder why the world is how it is right now and how it is that we have so many things happening. It's always because of disobedience. The disobedience of men. We're just disobedient by nature. We try to go around stuff. I mean, we try to get our own way all the time, and God tries to, make room and make way for us because He knows us. He made us. He knows us. Okay? So he tries to give us a leeway at times, but sometimes we get an inch and we take a whole mile. So that's how things go awry at times, right? All right, so guys, I'm gonna leave that right there. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification so you're alerted whenever a new audio video is posted. And guys, please share your thoughts, your comments, and your revelations down below in the comment section. Okay, and remember to keep your salvation, and if you've not yet gained it, seek it. It's never too late. Have yourselves a blessed day. Bye.